Hey guys, it's Mark from 3E Breeding, and this video is kind of an exciting one for us. It's going to be part of a series of videos on our suite of resources here, the litter logbook, the guidebook. But this video, we're talking about our daily planner, which is super exciting because as a breeder, we all are aware of how difficult it can be at times to keep track of where you're at in that litter, especially if you have multiple litters going on at a time. Keeping track of what needs to be done on a particular day or within a particular week is critical. And even if you have multiple people that are taking care of a litter, this is just a crazy good resource that we have just grown to love and are excited to kind of share with you. So this is our daily planner, also kind of known as our kind of daily checklist, and dive right into this. If at any point at the end of this you have any questions, I'll give you a kind of a little link to ask those questions, but would love to hear from you. So what do you have here? So again, really nice design. We've tried to keep it as simple and clean as we can. This is kind of some introductory pages that kind of get you prepared. And the only thing I'll kind of highlight about this is really the importance of kind of getting if you're going to go with these resources, getting them early before your litter is born, before you're even maybe having your litter. If you plan to have 6 litters next year, get it now. Get familiar with the contents of these books. Start to fill in information. So a lot of this is you going ahead of time and filling in particular pieces of information that are going to be needed. So you don't want to be going into an emergency and having a blank page here. You want to have that pre-filled out and a plan in place for what to do if it's at 2 o'clock in the morning or at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. This is our pre-delivery checklist. Love this. The only thing I'll point out here is kind of you have your due date here, which again, kind of the complementary piece of all these resources is in the logbook. There is a calculator for calculating what that due date will be. We'll talk a little bit about that in the next video on the logbook, but you use this to calculate that. And then we call this kind of the 12 days prior. So you kind of write out your dates. And if you're like me and you think in terms of days, this might be helpful for you, or some of the people on our team, they want the date that it actually will happen. So both are here, where you can look at, okay, we're getting close to delivery. What's the date? What are some observations? Care, if you take the mom's temperature, you can record it here. But again, everything's right here for you to be prepared. What we have here is really just kind of the beginning of each week. And again, I love the kind of the design here. If you see as you progress, now it's moving down to week 6. We go to week 8. You'll have key components here at the beginning of each week. So what to expect this week, kind of just a preview of the week to come. And there's a place also here for notes. Again, a great place for you ahead of time to be kind of going through and saying, okay, in our program, we like to do this during week 1 or week 3 or week 4, whatever it is. You can make those notes here so that it's a reminder for you or for your team who may be doing this. So love this, but we'll get into the meat of this. So again, you're seeing kind of a 2-day spread here. We make these really nice with the spiral binding so that you can fold it flat if you like. And sometimes we see a lot of people that put these like this or have them on a clipboard. Really compact, clean design. Trying to keep it as minimal as we can, because we know how overwhelming it can be. And we also understand that each program might have differences. So having structure but yet flexibility is important. What you'll see here is the day that you're on. It falls within the first week and a place for you to write what date that actually is here. And then you'll have different boxes here that are kind of different categories. So you have like your dam's basic care needs here, your puppy's care needs here, your customer and operations kind of things that might be here, like reminders, hey, write a Facebook post, email the wait list, send some pictures, whatever it might be, would typically fall into this category. You have your academy box here. So The puppy care is kind of just the care for the puppy. This would be kind of more the development of the puppy, the training, the education that you might do. ENS, ESI, socialization would all kind of be examples of things that would fall into this category or this box. Medication custom care. So this is kind of a box that we kind of call out separately from the dam and the puppy, just so that it's a little bit more obvious. We've all been there where we have a puppy that may have contracted something and needs to be on an antibiotic for a couple of days. This would be a great place for you to figure out what days those antibiotics will be administered, write in a reminder to administer that medication or whatever it might be. And then another place for notes, a great place for you just to kind of keep track of what you did, what you noticed, reminders for maybe the next person that might be coming in to watch that litter later on in the day or whatever it might be. But again, nice quality paper. The spiral binding is just a huge for us. We love it. The other thing I'll just kind of mention here is that for each of these different things that you see here, so like for example, back here you see unlimited feeding, vet directed with a little asterisk. May not be able to read this on the video, but basically it says here, many vets will recommend unlimited food for your dam. Some will even recommend a high protein diet. Check with your vet for particulars for your dam. So it's just really calling your attention to, hey, we say this here, but always be, cross-checking or referencing whatever your vet says and go with that. But what is kind of nice about this too is if you're like, well, what is unlimited feeding? I don't really know. This is where your guidebook kind of comes into play. So you have this, and it's just designed to be just a quick place for you to be able to go in here. You can look at the table of contents. You can see things like, unlimited feeding, page 41. And then you can go over here. You can find the little section there. And again, we're not trying to make this thing 12, 15 pages for you to read. It's really designed to be quick, succinct information about that topic. For example, mastitis. Well, I don't remember what that is or what to be looking for. Well, I can go to page 33 in my guidebook and I could see a couple of pages related to that topic and what to be looking for. So again, these all go hand in hand, but we try to keep this as clean and neat as possible for you, with that option of being able to go back to your guidebook to reference anything that you might need or see in here. So huge. And the other piece of this is this guidebook is glue bound. It's cut this nice binding. It's a little bit smaller, kind of designed to be your kind of guide for all your litters that you might have in a year. So if you have 6 litters this year, you might have 6 different planners and 6 different log books, but you would only have one of these. You don't need to buy 6 of the guidebooks for each time. They're designed to kind of work for all the litters, and we try to update this every year with new information. But again, you'll see that new things get added as the days go on. The only other thing I'll kind of call out here is you have small call outs throughout the book. So like, for example, here is the beginning of week 6. But we're going to be talking about getting ready for week 8. And for us, in a lot of breeding programs, week 8 is kind of that final week with the puppies, and customers are getting ready to come and pick them up. And so there's a lot that's going on during that time. And this is just kind of that reminder to say, hey, make sure you have all the things you need. You don't want to get into week 8 and realize you have 10 puppies, but you only have 9 bandanas. So this is a good time to go take a look at the inventory. And we give kind of an idea list here of some things that we've seen or that we do. If you're kind of new to this and you're like, well, what should I include? You can maybe reference this. But this is just kind of those little like call outs to say, hey, you're getting close. Make sure you have everything that you need in order, because we understand that week 8, if that's the week that they go home for you, is usually pretty stressful and pretty intense. So we do go to week 8, day 56, but we understand that there are programs that go longer. Maybe you go up to 9 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever. And that's okay. We have QR codes at the back here where you can download for free additional days. And I think we go all the way up to 12 weeks for you. So you can, if you're in a program where you go a couple extra weeks than we have here and you want those pages, you can scan this and you can download those pages. Hopefully this helps. Again, one of our favorite tools here. I can't imagine going back to doing a litter without having this right here by my side. It is just become just a staple for our program, and everyone that has interacted with it just absolutely loves it, and we hope you do too.